All right, so it is another UND football weekend, and as we preview today's game with Tom Miller, Tom, it is maybe I don't know. Would you say a little bit of a surprise at the start that this UND offense has been able to produce here with just, I mean, specifically that last game, a couple of very entertaining trick plays that are able to get them a win and now maybe building some expectation as to whether or not they can continue this.
Yeah, the offense was pretty timely in Northern Arizona. There were times when things weren't going so well, but then all of a sudden Tommy Schuster was 5 for 5 on that last drive, and they started to pile up the points there quickly. So the offense has been pretty good. I think that's maybe a little bit of a surprise is how efficient that unit's been. I think the surprise has been that the defense has kind of struggled at times. And that's a kind of a scary situation here today against a Southern Illinois team that has really talented skill players. I mean, this is the third year in a row North Dakota's played Southern Illinois, and it's the same guys. For 3 years in a row now, it's Nick Baker, it's Devontae Cox at wide receiver, it's Javon Williams at running back, plays some Wildcat quarterback. So very experienced skill guys, and they can pile it up. So it'll be a challenge for Undy's defense today.
And speaking of that too, just the continuity in this matchup, how maybe is it different this year for UND? Just looking at trenches matchup wise, secondary. How is it kind of maybe better or worse for UND?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're fairly similar. I think what was it? Southern Illinois beat UND 31-28 last year, and UND had 111 more yards in total offense, moved the ball just fine, but missed two fourth quarter field goals, and that's what you kind of come away feeling like in a loss. And I think this year North Dakota's found ways to win those tight games, and I anticipate another close game. I think there will be a lot of yards to be had between the 20s, and I think it'll come down to can UND successfully finish off drives in the red zone, and defensively, can they hold up and force some field goals? I see another high scoring game. And a year ago now, North Dakota came to Carbondale, and Otis Weah was a surprise scratch in this game. They left him back at Grand Forks, said he was sick. And Isaiah Smith kind of had his breakout performance, ran for 111 yards. It was kind of our first long view of what Isaiah Smith could be. So I expect UND to try to run the ball. I thought the holes were pretty big last year, and I think UND's offensive line is better this year than it was last year. And UND has another weapon in Tyler Usman, who, a couple 100-yard games in a row here. I would think he would have an opportunity to reach that marker here again today.
And then speaking of Isaiah Smith too, just to the start of this season, post Otis Weah, what's maybe your impression of how he's been able to perform so far?
Yeah, it's been hit and miss, I think, for Isaiah Smith. I thought he had a really good fall camp, and he's kind of been a guy who will get you. He'll get stopped for 1, 2, and then he'll break one for 60. And so his totals end up looking all right, but he hasn't found a way to consistently get yardage, and I think that's where it separates him and Tyler Usman right now. Anyway, Tyler Usman just seems to consistently get those 4 or 5 yards, keep the down and distance, at a good meter. It's 2nd and 6, it's 3rd and 2. I think that's what's been the key to North Dakota's success offensively is when Tommy Schuster has good down and distance, they don't have to ask him to take a deep drop and put him in harm's way. So I think we'll see a lot of Tyler Usman here today and through the rest of the season until somebody shows that they're going to stop his kind of consistent meter of 3-4 yards a crack.
And then coming into today, any sort of updates on the injury front?
Yeah, North Dakota's pretty healthy. They lost Sammy Ford against Nebraska, who's a starting safety, and he's going to be out, likely all year. Outside of that, a name to watch that's back in the lineup today, made the trip to Carbondale, is Elijah Klein, a 6'6" wide receiver from Mandan, who I've written about extensively now in the spring and in the fall, but we haven't seen it in game action. Just hasn't had a chance to stay healthy. Was banged up again early in the year here. Practice all week, and I don't think he's a guy who's going to play 40-50 snaps for you, but he has the potential to play 10 really valuable snaps. Would be a fantastic red zone target, I think.
And then any sort of prediction you have here? You said high scoring, but maybe a score here that you're looking for.
Yeah, I just have a hard time, seeing Southern Illinois lose at home, coming off a Northwestern game. North Dakota winning 2 in a row on the road is going to be a challenge. I'm predicting 34-31 Southern Illinois in this one. So, but would not be surprised at all if that score flips.
All right. Well, it'll be interesting to see that play out, and you can follow along online with Tom in the live box score on GrandForksHerald.com. And we'll see you next week, Tom.
Sounds good. Good to hear from you.